It's Transfer Thursday here on the Rivals.com YouTube page, and we have Mike Farrell to talk all about it. Mike, let's jump right into the topics. The biggest topic of the week, the same one it was last week, Tre Bradford was at LSU. He transfers to Oklahoma. Now he's back to LSU, and he's eligible to play this week, correct?
Yeah, it's an odd situation. Boomer usually doesn't happen. Usually there's hard feelings. I'm sure LSU tried to talk him out of transferring. And then, Brooks, Eric Gray at Oklahoma, they don't have a lot of depth after those guys, but you're not going to crack the starting lineup with those two players. So it's just a weird one for me. And I think LSU they need depth at running back. He's a talented kid. Ed Orgeron fell in love with him and will recruit him very hard. So I guess it's welcome home with open arms. But this whole transfer thing's confusing to me because immediate eligibility is happening like after classes, after one transfer. I think the end is just like rubber stamping everybody to just go where they want to go when they want to go. And they really have to sort of narrow down, I think, a dead period. That would be nice to figure this out, but they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was if they didn't have a home by July 31st and the calendar rolled over, that was it. So if you entered the portal on August 1st, you would be eligible next year immediately.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. And I don't know the nuances of it all. Some kids can enroll early again or, practice with the team and stuff like that. But yeah, you're not supposed to be eligible after August 1st. But I don't know the inner workings of these appeals and what the basis of them are. I don't know why a Joey Gatewood gets two cracks at it immediately. I just think the NCAA just are fish to fry.
Right, not trying to be in the courtroom on fighting these transfer cases anymore. Okay, so he goes back to LSU. Could play this weekend. I saw Max Johnson say, "Oh boy, you can catch passes out of the backfield. He's dynamic." So be on the lookout for that. That would be pretty interesting if he played. Another guy, it was kind of a slow week with players hitting the portal, but a guy that kind of caught our eye, JMarion Gooch, was from Tennessee. He was committed to Auburn forever. He ends up then flipping to Tennessee, signs with Tennessee. Jeremy Pruitt gets fired. He asks out of his letter. Then he commits to Missouri. And then when he gets there to check in, he get his physical. They flag him and he's ineligible to play, medically retired. And now he's back in the portal again. What a crazy run. 3 schools basically, and he hasn't even started yet.
And according to his Twitter, he's got a baby on the way too. So busy couple of years for the Gooch man. And I don't know what the medical issue is. With HIPAA, they don't have to say. But we've seen before with, guys like Jarvis Jones and Jalen Phillips, being medically disqualified at one school, going on to another school, having a solid career. I don't know who's going to look at him. I assume he's going to try to go back close home. So you wonder if Tennessee's interested, even though he got out of his letter, or if you wonder maybe Memphis or somebody like that, or Ole Miss. But right now, Gooch is back on the market in this school number 4.
He actually transferred high schools midway through the fall last year too. So it's been all
massive human being.
Yes,
6'8", 340, and I think 340 is light.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He goes to a school where they tend to bring in players, or his high school originally, they bring in players from other areas. Sometimes you have the kids come from outside the United States and go there. So I'm not sure where exactly his home base is. But you never know. Maybe UCF gives him a call, considering it's the same coaches that recruited him at Auburn, and he decommitted because they were getting fired. So I'd keep an eye on that too. But just kind of a slow week, and he's another one. This is what it's going to be. We're going to have these guys who go to 3, 4, 5 schools now, and they're like free agents. So we'll keep an eye on it. All right, the transfer of the week, another kid from Tennessee, Kenneth Walker III. Mike, you ranked this guy as a 2-star. What were you thinking?
It wasn't my state, man. That's not my state. Yeah, Wake Forest kid, really good running back at Wake first year there. I sort of follow, on Instagram, you could follow workouts like that and see how big and strong kids are getting. And his videos were very impressive. There was a lot of talk of him making an immediate impact at Michigan State, but man, 200 yards, I think he had 4 touchdowns. He's the real deal. And Michigan State is going to rely on him quite a bit. And there were a ton of guys who made an impact this week. Obviously, we've already talked about Jack Cohn and some others. This is the part to me that's really interesting about the portal. When you look at rosters and you're just like, okay, what happened? They didn't have a coaching change at Wake Forest. So did he want to step up in competition? A guy like Zach Charbonnet fell out of favor at Michigan, and you wonder how that's possible now. So that's the cool part about it, is sort of see where they came from. And Kenneth Walker at Michigan State definitely by far had the biggest impact this weekend.
Yeah, for the record, I ranked him as a 2-star, not you. So that is my bad.
Ultimately,
on that one,
I get the blame for everything, but not anymore. Not anymore.
So I remember he popped up kind of out of nowhere and committed to Wake Forest. I asked around about him. People are like, nah, he's okay, blah, blah, blah. Probably a fringe Power 5 guy. And now he looks like he has NFL potential based on how he was able to run in that game for Michigan State. He's going to put up some big numbers. Real quick, before we leave, quick hitters. Carlos Becker, boy, old name blast from the past, enters the portal from Florida State. Never really had the impact. He was controversial. People were so mad that we had him ranked as a 3-star.
Yeah, and an athlete. So a very, very good athlete, 6'3" back, and I think 185, something like that. Could have played multiple positions, but 2016, that's forever ago. I mean, it's very interesting to think that I think was 8 or 9 years ago, Tate Martell first committed to Washington. And now you've got a kid like Carlos Becker entering the transfer portal, Demetrius Robertson at Auburn, third stop. I mean, some of these guys are continuing their careers with that extra year of eligibility, and they seem like they've been around forever. And this is one of them. I'm sure it is, more sacks than pass defenses, and he could play Becker and all this other stuff, but I really don't know where Becker is going to fit, but he certainly didn't fit in with what Florida State wanted to do.
Okay. All right. So that wraps it up for Transfer Thursday. I don't know why I want to say Tuesday every time. Mike and I will be back
better. Transfer Tuesday sounds better, honestly.
Mike and I will be back with another episode next Thursday. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment on YouTube, and follow both of us on Twitter. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.